Like, if you say you've never driven a car before, and someone says, get in that car and go and drive it up the street and get some things, and I don't know how to drive. You've got to have someone who knows how to drive to show you how to drive. Because you get in that car, and there's no good in just writing it down like people say, oh, I read that in the book. There's no good. That's no good. You've got to have hands on. Because if someone writes in the book there, or you push your clutch down here, so we're talking about book manual, and you push your clutch here, and then you turn your motor on, and this and that and everything, and then you say, oh, I've done everything by the book, yeah, let the clutch out, stops, you know, how come one go? You forgot to put, you got a handbrake on, get it off. So like, only experience and having someone to teach you that. If anyone know anything about shearing, you'd never be able to shear a sheep. If someone says, go and shear that sheep, you'd never be able to do it. Someone's got to shear, you've got to see someone shear it and get your hands on that handpiece and get used to using it, you know, like, and that's why all these old maps were good, because they had the Aboriginal people still then they could show them. Like, they'd say, oh, that's our boundary because of this and that, like I just told you before. But today, no one knows these things. And they go, oh, yeah, that'll do, we'll have that, and we'll have that, and we'll have that. But there's no proof of it, you know. So, yeah. So it's good to have truth instead of just stuff made up, you know. Yeah, any questions more?
So your grandmother is, what's your grandmother's name?
My grandmother?
Yeah.
Annie Lewis.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit more about her life?
Yeah. This is a funny thing because you didn't care about the history of where someone come from when you were little, you know. You asked later, you know. And I looked up her history and it said that she was born in Adelaide, because there was a mission in Adelaide, or just out of Adelaide. And I thought, well, that's funny. How could she be born in Adelaide when they come from Waganya up on Lake Boomerang? Anyway, so I was up at the museum at Waganya. It was on the other side, no, Coro actually, there's none of Waganya, it was on Coro. And I asked the lady, I said, my grandmother was born in Adelaide. Back in, it's still 1800s, how the hell did she get back to Adelaide and then come back here after she's grown up a bit? She said, the steam engine, what do you call them? The steamboat.
Paddle steam.
Yeah, the steamboat used to come from Adelaide right here to Corowa. She said they used to put them from the mission on that steamboat and send them down to Adelaide to the mission down there. And I said, well, I'll be buggered, you know. So, well, you're not going to ask about that when you're little. But yeah, so I found all that later on. But anyway, when she come back, she was living on the reserve. It was a reserve at Waganya. It wasn't a mission, it was a reserve. There was no preacher to tell you what you got to do or any of that. Everyone it was just a safe place to live where the white man won't come and shoot you or something. It was just a reserve for Aboriginal people. So they lived there, and they used to go, the farmers used to come and get the young girls to take them out to work on their farm, like as maids and stuff like that. Anyway, she went to work on different sheep stations, cattle stations, and they used to dress her up nice, and she'd learnt everything, learned how to read and write, and then when she got older, she was actually going around teaching Aboriginal kids what she did, you know. Yeah, so, and then, then she had his father, and he was still 1800s when my father was born. And her mother, Luana, she saw the first white people coming into Wangaratta in their horses and wagons. And you can imagine they looked at her, what's this? what's these things? I've never seen horses and wagons on a fucking road. It's just like someone coming from outer space here to here now. You go, hey, what's going on? You know, where do these bars come from? You know, that's what she'd say. Like, anyway, she saw first come, and so people write things that I know ain't true. They can't fool me because I've been told right from the day they came here, the stories have been passed down to me. And like, no one can tell me nothing. I read the history of Wangaratta, not the one that's out the latest. There was one there a few years ago, and it had me great auntie, Mary J. Milawa, died on the 10th of October. Anyway, I got onto him, the bloke that wrote it. I said, there was in the history of Wangaratta book. And I said, why did you put that in there? He said, oh, that's when she died. I said, mate, I've got a death certificate right in my hand now, and it's signed by the doctor and all the witnesses. It was the bloody 6th of 11th, not 10th, not the 12th or 10th or whatever he had. And I said, so when I pick up a book and I see something in there not true, I just throw it away, because if that's not true, what else is not true? You know, you waste your time reading the rest of it because it's all bullshit, you know. So that's why I like to, if I say something, I like to have something to back myself up with it, you know. I don't just say it and think, oh, I read that in the book one day, because I don't trust that bloke that wrote that book. Yeah. So, anything else you want to know of?
Well, I better let other people have a go first.
Yeah, mate.
Freddie, I just want to know about the word Milawa and anything about the area, Milawa.
Milawa?
Yeah.
Your eyes are mill. Mill is your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Wa is the water. Milawa means sea, water. In other words, translated, you live in the floodplain. You see floodwater all the time. And that's why the Milawa people looked after the rivers and everything, because they saw floodwater all the time. And even before I moved away, I used to work at trucks and row a boat to work at night. I got flooded out. I got sick of that. Snakes crawled in the boat while you're driving along. And, anyway, yeah, so that's how the name Milawa comes out. Means seas water.
Uncle Freddie, I've been up in Mildura a lot, and they have an area called the Milawa, spelt differently. Is it the same meaning?
It's the same word, because it floods too.
Yeah.
It's a flood country. Yeah, same word, same people.
Right.
Because Mildura or Echuca?
Yeah, up in Mildura, south of the Mildura, there's an area they call the Milawa.
Milawa Forest.
They spell it Millewah, or sometimes without that.
Yeah, oh, they probably have the same language, because Mildura is further away from it. We finished it at Echuca.
Yeah.
But when you go to Echuca, north of Echuca, there's a forest called the Milawa Forest.
Okay.
And it floods.
Yeah.
That's why they call it Milawa Forest. Yeah. Who's next? Go, mate.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the special places around here, as in the idea that King George's Garden or the place was the sort of the main corroboree place. Does that you back that up, or?
Well, down the back of where I used to live, in Stamps Lane, there used to have corroborees there until someone come and stopped it all. And then just up further up along there was actually the Reedy Creek, which is a branch of the old river anyway. But the Bontharamo had a big corroboree place down there. The back of Bontharamo's, what do you call it, homestead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Northern Beaches around there? Or is that being on the floodplain? It probably would have been a very good area for food, but maybe not for.
Yeah, they had different spots here, but they used to have corroborees and stuff up around that way too. Yeah.
So not one particular
Nah.
CBD, if you like.
No, because they had no CBD. Because you've got to remember, they are too smart to have permanent structures. They moved, because while you keep moving, you don't destroy anything. Once you, this is why the ones